We're about to jump into a story that is, truly one of the most foundational stories ever. It's got everything. A perfect beginning, just one rule to follow, and a single choice that, well, it changed absolutely everything for all of us. So let's just start with this huge question, right? I want you to think about the world around you for a second. All the good, all the bad, all the complicated stuff. What if you could trace all of it back to one single moment, to one choice? It sounds kind of crazy, but that's the big idea we're digging into.
All right, so to really get a handle on this choice, we have to go back to the beginning. We need to see the world where this all went down. And let me tell you, it started out as, well, perfect. Absolutely perfect.
The story kicks off right after the whole world is created. God sets aside this one special spot, a beautiful garden called Eden. And we're not talking about just any nice park. This was perfection. The world at its absolute best, pure and beautiful. So you've got this perfect place, right? And into this paradise, humanity makes its first appearance. The first man, Adam, is created and put right in the middle of it all. He literally had everything you could ever want or need. Well, almost everything. There was one piece of the puzzle missing. He was alone. So God created Eve. And with her, you have the complete picture. Adam and Eve, together, in this perfect world. They were living in total peace, totally innocent. Okay, so life in this garden, it was unbelievably simple. But there was still a structure. There was just one rule. That's it, just one.
And here it is, the one rule. Amidst all this freedom, all this incredible abundance, there was this one tree that was off limits. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And the instruction couldn't have been clearer. Don't eat from that one. You see, this is the moment where choice and obedience even become a thing. It's what makes the whole story possible.
So for a while, everything was great. Perfect harmony, just like you'd imagine. But then, something changes. A new voice shows up in the garden, and this voice is about to question everything.
Yep, this is where we meet the bad guy of the story, a serpent. And when the serpent arrives, it brings conflict and doubt into this perfect world for the very first time. This is the spark that's going to set everything off.
And just listen to how the serpent does this. It's so sneaky. It doesn't come in with some big demand. Nope. It just whispers this little question. Did God really say you can't eat this fruit? See what it's doing? It's brilliant in a terrible way. It's designed to make Eve think, maybe I didn't hear that right. Is that rule really a good thing? It's just planting that tiny seed of doubt.
And that little seed of doubt, it grows, and it leads us right to the tipping point of the whole story, the moment of decision that literally changes the future of humanity.
So, let's just walk through exactly what happened. It's a chain reaction, really. First, the serpent's trick works. Eve is deceived. Second, she takes a bite. The choice is made. Third, she gives some of the fruit to Adam. Now he's got a choice to make too. And fourth, he eats it. He makes the same choice. See how one thing just snowballs right into the next?
And the fallout from that choice? It wasn't something that happened later. It was instant. It was huge. And it didn't just change their world, it changed them. But, and this is important, this isn't just an ending. It's also a new beginning.
The very first thing that changed was inside them. All of a sudden, they realized they were naked and they felt shame for the first time ever. Think about that. Before, in their innocence, they had nothing to hide. But now, this new feeling, this shame, it completely changes how they see themselves and each other. It's a total break from everything they've ever known.
And what happens on the inside immediately affects the outside. Their relationship with God, it's shattered. They used to walk with him in the garden, no problem. Now, their first instinct is to hide. That perfect connection is just gone.
This really lays it all out, doesn't it? The before and after is just, wow. On one side, you have peace. On the other, shame. You go from total innocence to what the story calls sin, which is basically this state of being broken and separated. And finally, life in paradise gets swapped for being kicked out. It's a complete flip. Everything is the opposite of what it was.
And this is really the bottom line of the whole story. Their one personal choice had consequences for everyone, for everything. This single moment of disobedience, this is where it all began. This is the moment that brokenness and separation became part of the human story.
But right here, at what seems like the lowest possible point, you've got shame, separation, being kicked out of paradise. The story takes a turn. It makes it really clear that this disaster, it's not the end of the story.
not by a long shot.
Right in the middle of all this mess, a promise is made. So the story doesn't actually end with loss. Instead, it starts pointing toward a future plan, a plan to restore everything, a way to fix what was so badly broken, and, somehow, to undo the damage of that first fateful choice.
And that's where we're left. You see, this story about a paradise that was lost, it's not really an ending. It's the setup for a much, much bigger story about redemption. And it just leaves you wondering, doesn't it? What happens next? What could that plan possibly be?